Hello, I'm John with Roadkill Incorporated, and today I have something really special to show off here. This is an Amiga 1000 and an original 1080 monitor, both in original boxes. Uh, the Amiga 1000 has all original materials, almost as if it was new. I've dealt with many Amiga 1000s, and never have I even seen an original box, let alone one this nice. So I'm going to do an unboxing. First, I'll just show you the box itself. Very nice graphics. All the different sides of the computer. Oops, that's upside down, sorry. Different accessories. So the person who sold me this was nice enough to double box it so that it wouldn't get, this box wouldn't get destroyed. So there you have it. I will now unbox it one step at a time and show you what I find inside. All right, so this is the monitor first. This is the Amiga 1080 monitor, which came out at the same time as the Amiga 1000, so it's an appropriate monitor for the 1000. This one is in very, very nice shape. It does have, I'd say, a little bit of yellowing, but it's still very nice. You can't necessarily tell. I have some of these that are just bright yellow, so this one is relatively very, very nice. The little door down here works, doesn't have any broken pieces, and under there you've got the little dials that turn. There's the video cable and power cable. Everything looks very nice with the monitor. And I just wanted to give you a view of the other side. There are the typical connectors. And again, a little bit of yellowing, but it's very consistent and no lines. This is easily better than 90% of these monitors that you see out there. All right, on to the good stuff. So open it up here, and sitting on top is the Amiga 1000 user guide. Giant binder. I mean, you don't see manuals for computers like this. Introduction to the Amiga. Big section on Amiga Basic. The calculator. Color graphics in a giant spiral-bound manual. Certainly something you don't see for computers these days. Commodore is, famous for trying to teach you how to use BASIC with their manuals, which was really great. I mean, it taught a generation of kids programming. So there's that really nice manual. So now we have this big chunk of foam, and there is the keyboard. These keyboards are very expensive because they have a sort of a phone connector jack. There you go. And it's somewhat proprietary. You can't really convert them to other cables. You can't just use a standard USB keyboard. And I have to say, this keyboard is just gorgeous. I've never seen one. I wouldn't say this has any yellowing, as far as I can tell here in this bad light. But yeah, I have not seen one recently that looks that nice. Then they have the feet there. So there's the keyboard. So next we have this sort of quick start guide. Came in this bag here. Just gives you an inventory of what's included. Kickstart, workbench, extras. The Amiga Tutor. How to start the Amiga Tutor. Oh, it's on the extras disc, okay. Never seen this stuff before. There's the warranty registration. Another thing you don't see in modern days. Oh, it's got the 256K expansion RAM on the front. There's a port I'll show you where you can put the 256K so that you have a total of 512K. Cool. So this is for the monitor. So this monitor was definitely... Oh, and here's the manual for the monitor. Okay, so the monitor was definitely purchased at the same time. A lot of documents here. If you have problems setting up your Amiga. Whoa. I don't know if this came with it. This may have been an addition from the owner here. Not sure. Oh, and here's a list of programs. Huh. Not sure what this pertains to, but definitely not original to the computer. Someone who owned this machine must have put this in here. I do believe I got it from the original owner, though, so I think this is all stuff that he collected. So now, having taken the foam and those items out, you can see the computer here. And yeah, the Amiga 1000 has this empty space underneath where the keyboard goes. So even upside down in the box, it served as a little compartment for the stuff I just showed you. And here's a little space where the discs go. Amiga Kickstart 1.1 and Workbench and extras and Electronic Arts. What is that? I do not know what that is. Kaleidoscope. Free software from Electronic Arts. It must be like a demo disc. I've never seen that one. And then under here we have the keyboard cable. Like I told you, that phone jack cable. This one's really nice, not stretched out. I don't think it was used. I don't think this computer was really used, to be perfectly honest. So I will now switch to the next scene as I take the computer out. All right, so here it is. And first, the mouse. This model mouse is referred to as the tank mouse, the style of mouse. I guess someone thought it looked like a tank. But this one in particular is just immaculate condition. These pads are usually kind of moving off to the side and gunked up and dark. This just looks new. I bet the owner used some other mouse and just kind of put this aside. So beautiful, beautiful mouse. And you know this is an Amiga 1000 mouse because the connector is this sort of L shape. So when you plug it in, it sort of faces down. The other mice kind of stick all the way out and would easily get banged against from use. So they're functionally the same, but this is specifically made for the Amiga 1000. And then you have the computer itself, which is in just amazing condition. There are a few little nicks, things like that, maybe the smallest tinge of yellowing, but again, for something of this age, this is just as good as it gets. Very, very nice. Typically, this little gap between the top and the bottom is much wider because when you take the top off, these clips tend to break off and it just doesn't really settle back down again the same way. But this one looks like it hasn't been opened because the gap is very consistent. And this is the cover to the bus port. Out of all of the Amiga 1000s I've dealt with, I've never seen one with the cover still intact. They all get lost, but this one has it. So that's very, very unique. Here's the rear of the machine, the sort of phone jack keyboard connector here. It's kind of cool. You put the keyboard in front, the cable runs underneath and then plugs into this, and then you can slide the keyboard under the computer. So they thought that out pretty well. All the various video and other connectors on the back of the machine. And then here's the underside of the computer. Just wanted to show you the serial number and everything else, made in Japan. Don't know if there's a way to read that serial number that tells you anything interesting about the computer, what generation it is, that sort of thing. But there you have it. So I wanted to show you the front memory expansion. This little cover, you press down a little tab here and then this pops off. And then you have this guy, this 256K expander that just kind of plugs into a socket there. And yeah, and honestly, I've seen a lot of these. They're usually kind of stained, corroded, whatever, just the metal does not hold up. But this one looks as clean as a mirror. Really astonishingly well kept, I have to say. All right, so we're at the grand finale. Everything's put together and ready to be powered on. So I'll flip the switch here on the left. We have a red light. That's what we want to see. And we have a light on the screen. By the way, I'm not seeing that rolling video in reality like you are. That's just a product of filming an old monitor with an iPhone. And there we go. There's the Kickstart prompt. That's exactly what we want to see. Great news. So just a little bit about the Amiga OS. It's a two-part OS made up of Kickstart and Workbench. Kickstart is kind of like the BIOS, you could say, and then Workbench is the graphical OS software, kind of like the Windows or the Mac OS of the Amiga. So the Amiga 1000 is unique in that both parts are loaded up off of disk. This is because the software was in early development when the computer came out, and they didn't want to commit Kickstart to a ROM just yet. So with Amiga 1000s, you can boot them to Kickstart 1.1, 1.2, 1.3, whereas newer Amigas, you have to, it's an actual ROM on the board that you have to replace. So that's something unique about the Amiga 1000 specifically. So I'll boot it up off of Kickstart. Drive sounds good. Sounds like a healthy drive. It's not making strange noises. So what will happen here is it'll load Kickstart, and then we will put in Workbench, and then it will get to the graphical OS. And once you load Kickstart once, you can reset the computer and not have to load Kickstart again. It'll keep it in memory. So there we go, Amiga Workbench. Pop this guy out. .1. I believe this is a very early version of the Amiga 1000 because it does come with 1.1 as opposed to 1.2. So super minimal, the desktop there. It's just called Workbench. So 426K out of 512 free. And let's just see what's on the disk. I don't know that I've ever tried 1.1. There you go. It's a little bit more minimal than 1.2 and 1.3. All right. There we go. So, you know, realistically, you'd probably want to use Workbench 1.3, but because this is an all original Amiga, you know, it's worth keeping this around. So that's pretty much it. Yeah, this is an Amiga 1000 new unboxing in the year 2020. Well, not actually completely new in box, but it's as close as you're going to get for a 35-year-old computer. I mean, you know, you're just not going to see something like this this far from the time this computer was made. So anyway, I hope you've enjoyed watching this, and thank you so much.